Happening now, we begin with an update to some breaking news we first brought you last night.
An Albuquerque police officer is recovering this morning after another officer accidentally shot him. About 8:30 last night, police were looking for a man with a gun on the roof of a business here near Old Coors and Central. It turns out that person had a BB gun. While police were clearing the area, one of them bumped into a wall and his gun went off. The bullet hit another officer on the calf. We just saw him getting loaded into an ambulance. Turns out that was just a flesh wound. He was rushed to the hospital and he should be okay. The officer whose weapon accidentally went off will be under investigation. Well, in Santa Fe, police are on the hunt for whoever shot a gun and sent a bullet flying into a child's bedroom. On Sunday, an 8-year-old girl was sitting here on her bed watching a movie on her laptop. Her mother says the girl paused the movie, went to the bathroom, and 5 seconds later, they heard a loud bang. Then a bullet flew through not just one, but two walls, stopping right there, right above the girl's bed.
That's when I put everything together, that it was a bullet, that it went through the wall, that it went through my daughter's room, that my daughter could have been sitting there when it happened, and I just lost it.
An extremely scary thought there. About the same time, police heard of some gunshots just 4 blocks away, but they're not sure if they're related to the bullet in that girl's bedroom. Well, this afternoon, the jury will be back to decide the fate of a former Albuquerque cop accused of killing his own wife.
The 9 women and 3 men spent nearly 9 hours yesterday trying to decide if Levi Chavez is a killer, but did not reach a verdict. Chavez is accused of shooting his wife, Tara, with his police-issued gun back in 2007 and making it look like a suicide. But Chavez's attorney claims Tara was depressed over Chavez's cheating ways and killed herself. Jurors heard from about 40 witnesses over a 5-week span, including Chavez himself. The jury did ask to see some evidence from the trial yesterday. They will continue deliberations starting at 1 p.m. It's being a bit delayed because a juror has a scheduling conflict. Coming up in our next half hour, we will talk with a criminal lawyer about what a long deliberation means for both state and defense.
Well, another fight about a dog, and now a man is sitting in jail in Albuquerque. Police say Genaro Lobato went up to a neighbor at a mobile home park on San Pedro Northeast Saturday night, accused that neighbor of kicking his pit bull, then started hitting him in the head with a rock. The neighbor was able to get away and called police. They arrested Lobato. Remember, it was just last month that Michael Sanchez was stabbed to death at a gas station on the west side. Police say his neighbor, Ricardo Villanueva Cordova, did it after the two had been arguing about a dog. Cordova is still on the run.
An anti-abortion group continues to push today for a public vote on banning late-term abortions in Albuquerque. The group is called Voices for Family Values. It has reportedly gathered about 10,000 signatures in the last few weeks. They need about 15,000 valid signatures to put the question on the October ballot.
There are so many people who want this in Albuquerque that I really think we're going to see this happen now.
The measure, like the bill passed by the Texas legislature, would ban abortions in Albuquerque after 20 weeks. The city attorney's office says even if Albuquerque voters approve such a ban, state law would override it. If supporters do not get enough signatures by July 25th, they would miss the October ballot deadline. However, if they get enough later, they could force a special election. Well, we have learned 2 people are accused of stealing millions of dollars from an Albuquerque company that's made quite a name for itself. It involves Kinesio tape. That's the bright athletic tape that pro and Olympic athletes wear. Well, federal agents say it starts with Johannes Jarvis. He was the marketing director for Kinesio. Investigators say he and John Hope created a Chinese company to act as a middleman between Kinesio and the company that makes the tape, and overcharged Kinesio, keeping more than $1 million for themselves. Well, an audit on the public education department reveals some troubling information.
And that audit shows the department is not managing its money well and is not even following the law. The new report talks about everything from how the PED handles its books to how it uses federal and state funds. Well, remember last month, we told you the feds were getting ready to withhold tens of millions of dollars from New Mexico schools because the state did not spend enough on special education. Then there's the other funding flap we told you about. This was back in May, where the state overpaid and underpaid several school districts. That money was meant for at-risk students.
A lot of these funds are geared towards students in poverty or special needs students, and so these students have very important constitutional legal protections for a reason. And so it's important that public education department do everything they can to safeguard those funds.
The PED has until next month to submit a detailed plan on how to fix things.
Well, later today, we could learn the name of the man who drowned at Navajo Lake State Park. Searchers found the body of a man in about 4 feet of water after he was reported missing Sunday. All we know right now is that he was 28 years old and that investigators say they do not think foul play was involved.
At 5:06, here's an extremely sad yet very important story for parents and kids to hear. This morning, a high school student from Albuquerque is dead, taking his own life after being bullied for years.
He's not here because of bullying. It drove him over the edge.
Jacqueline Vigil here is now having to say goodbye to that young man, her son, Carlos. He posted a note on Twitter Saturday afternoon referring to the mean names bullies called him and saying he's now free. Carlos's dad heard about it. He rushed home, but sadly it was too late. Carlos was just 17 years old. He was going to Valley High School. He transferred there to escape the bullying at Los Lunas High School, where he was picked on for everything from his weight to his acne, even his glasses.
Even though now Carlos is gone, we need to focus on what he left trying to say. That bullying is a problem.
Words that can actually really hurt. And I think Carlos just, he couldn't do it anymore.
It must have hurt him very badly. Carlos's family took him off life support last night. They had been keeping him alive so they could donate his organs. You hear